What's up, guys? Plankomator here, and welcome back to more Let's Play Metroid Prime. In the last episode, we got the last of the Chozo artifacts, made our way back to the Artifact Temple, and defeated our nemesis Meta Ridley. This time, we'll be descending into the Impact Crater, and finally finishing off this adventure. So let's just head right in. Welcome to the Impact Crater. We are now inside where that meteor initially crashed on Talon 4. This stuff may look like phazon, and I'm pretty sure it is. But it's also a lot more dangerous. It can still hurt us. What just hit me? What are those? What is that? What is that thing? I don't remember that. Let me scan you. Come on. Come on. Come on, let me scan you. They're like little newts. I don't remember those. Can I farm you guys for health? That'd be helpful right about now. Are you gonna drop anything? You're dropping missiles. Oh, you are dropping some health, which is good. But can you drop more is the question. I guess not. Oh well. I think there might be a save station in here. So, god damn it, fission Metroids. Go away. Power bombs, best way of dealing with those things, but I still hate them. Because they use up a valuable resource, and if you don't have said resource, they're a pain in the ass. Also, there are teeth around here. This is never explained. I don't know why there are teeth inside of a meteor, but there are. Which is kind of creepy, but thought-provoking at the same time. Is this thing alive? Is the meteor sentient? I don't know. And I probably never will. Unless Prime 4 gives us some information on that, which I somehow doubt. Oh, is that just gonna give us missiles? Yep, it's just giving us missiles. Damn it, I really could use some health. Especially with how low on it I am right now. I guess after fighting Meta Ridley, I could have turned back and went to... Oh, crap. I could have turned back and went to the ship. But how did you not get blown up? Die. Can you drop health, please? Fine. Be like that. Stupid fission Metroids. God damn. I hate those things. Anyway, if we climb our way up here... Where, okay, that way. Also, the music in here, really, like, not distorted, but you know what I mean. It's not, like, natural. So something's definitely weird here. We could just bomb our way up to here. You don't want to fall into that, into the, whatever that is down there, because that would be bad. It's not phazon. It looks like phazon, but it's orange. I don't know what that is. That's also never explained. But we have a thing. Hello, Nightmare Fuel. Meet the namesake of this game, the Metroid Prime, the final boss of Metroid Prime. Yeah, for a series named after an enemy, it's kind of ironic that it took them till the fourth, technically fifth, I think, game of the series to have a final boss named after one. But yeah. So, the whole gimmick of this fight is basically that he is weak to us only one beam at a time. As you can see there, yellow, he is then weak to the power beam. Now that it's purple, he is weak to wave beam. We can go ahead and abuse the crap out of our missile upgrades, because these things are ridiculously powerful against Prime. So you want to spam your super missiles, spam your wave buster, your flamethrower, your ice spreader, whatever it is, just abuse them. The flamethrower is probably the least helpful of the three, just because you have to have actually pretty good aim with it, since unlike the super missiles, it doesn't home, and it doesn't have a big area of effect like the ice spreader. So it uses a lot of missiles, so if you miss, it does waste a lot. And on top of that, the plasma beam itself is so strong anyway that you don't really need it. So just go ahead and get you out of your wave form. Come on, just tase the crap out of you. Oh damn it! You want to try to let go of Wave Buster like as soon as it's possible for you to do so. Also, hide in this little crevice here, because then he'll try to charge. You want to get rid of your Wave Buster as soon as possible, pretty much, just because it's like it drains so many missiles so quickly that you really, really have to be careful and make sure you're conserving them. Also, ice is dangerous because you can do that, and that can freeze you solid, so be careful. You have to hit him right in the face, too. So right there. Right there. There you go. This is taking a while. Also, the ice beam is slow, so you pretty much have to do charge shots, otherwise it's kind of pointless. Come on. Why am I not using the ice spreader? I should be doing that. There we go. Oh! I didn't even realize it could freeze him solid like that. But anyway, after taking enough damage, he will eventually start falling through the floor behind you. He did that a couple times already, but I didn't really point it out. But just repeat this process a couple times. Oh, once he does this, you want to get into Morph Ball and just boost your way out of it. So let me just go ahead and super missile the crap out of you. Ow. Come on. There we go. Alright, I want to hide in here. Get in there. There we go. Get our way out of here while he charges to the other side. What's he going to do? Wave Beam. Alright, get our Wave Buster ready. Come on. Let go as soon as possible. There we go. Don't step on me. He can step on you, so just be careful. What are you going to change to? Ice. Let's use the ice spreader. There we go. Also, those things, they can be destroyed. And they give you drops. Oh, crap. Oh, God. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Plasma. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. I just like to rapid fire here. Sometimes I'll just unleash a charge shot because it does light him on fire, and he does take damage from that. So, let's just go ahead and break these. I guess never mind, because he's falling through the floor and didn't give us a chance to get the pickups from that. What's he gonna do? Ice. Charge a beam here. There we go. Perfect. Alright, also, it's worth noting that now there's only one little track down on the bottom, so definitely stay vigilant. Falling into that hole is no longer recommended, just because he can step on you with his little back leg there. He does have only 3 legs for some reason. But he can step on you with that back leg, so, yeah, just be careful not to fall into the trap down there. You just kind of want to stay to the side. And just burn. Can I have health? I really need health right now. Fine, missiles. Be like that. Come on. Come on. There you go. Just want to kind of duck under his leg here. What's he going to change to? Ice. Come on. There we go. Shoot. Damn it, he opened his mouth at like, just the wrong time. I have no idea how to dodge that attack. Ah, crap. He's dealing a lot of damage to me, and that's not good. Plasma. Come on, give me health. Give me health. Give me health. That's not health. Missiles are appreciated, but I could use health. Come on. Ow. 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 I don't know how to dodge that. Come on. Come on. Plasma is kind of one of his more dangerous ones. There we go. Oh, he's falling back. He's falling back. He's falling back. Good. So now we can just follow him back there. But it's not over. This is the core of the Metroid Prime. This is what was inside the exoskeleton, and it is also nightmare fuel. None of your beams can do anything to it. This is actually kind of like one of my favorite final bosses ever, but this phase is I don't like this phase as much. At least I used to. I used to not really like this phase all that much, but I don't know. The more time goes on, the more I actually kind of appreciate it. After a while, he will create little puddles of phazon. What we need to do at that point is change our beam to whatever, or change our visor to something where we can see him, stand in the phazon, and that activates hyper mode. Come on. Then we just need to blast the crap out of him. This is the only way to damage the Metroid Prime. He is invincible otherwise. None of your attacks will actually do anything to him. So the trick to this fight is to just dodging whatever he throws at you, waiting for him to create a little puddle of phazon, standing in it, and just obliterating him. After a while, he will start to spawn Metroids, which includes fission ones, which is part of the reason I didn't really like this phase all that much. Also, he changed, there he is, alright. Thermal visor hurts my eyes, especially when he's so bright. Alright, normal visor. Yeah, he can spawn Metroids, so just be careful of that. Power bombs are your friend when it comes to those things, so just keep that in mind. Come on, make a puddle. There we go. Alright, your X-ray. There we go. You can just hold down the A button there, and just make sure you're aiming at him, and you'll be good to go. Otherwise, it's basically just a dodging game. So just play it safe, play it patient, and you should be okay. This isn't too difficult. Whenever he does that shockwave, just double jump over it. It's not too hard to dodge. What's he doing? The main threat in this fight is the Prime itself just kind of like ramming into you, so just be careful. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna go ahead and immediately switch myself. Also, hyper mode immediately kills Metroids. Very, very useful if he spawns them without a puddle right there. Give me that health. Nice. Where is he? Where'd he go? There he is. Just try to keep him in your sights. Try not to lose sight of him. As soon as he turns invisible, change your beam immediately. He always follows a cycle. Normal, X-ray, and then thermal. He never goes out of order. So just remember the order, change to the right visor as soon as he becomes invisible, and don't take your eyes off of him. As long as you keep him in your sights, it's not too bad. Come on, buddy. Make the puddle. Make a puddle. Alright, normal visor. What you doing? What you doing, buddy? Make the puddle. Make the puddle. Also, whenever he's doing that, try not to move around too much, just because it can make you accidentally strafe instead of jump. Come on, deal. Okay, he's like half dead. which is good. Got some more health pickups, which is also good. Since Prime himself doesn't really try to bump into you all that much, standing still is not really as much of a bad idea as you would think. That being said, when he summons Metroids, then you want to start moving around. Come on. Do your thing. Do your thing. Let me hyper mode you. Come on, Prime. That is horrifying. You can see, like, the strain on his face. It's so creepy. I love the design of this thing, by the way. I've always been a fan of, like, surreal biological horror. And, man, the Metroid series is so good at that. The enemy designs in this entire franchise are just... They're so creepy. They're so cool looking, and I love them all. Normal beam, come on. Just blast the crap out of you. Give me that health. I don't know why I'm charging my beam. It doesn't really do anything. Also, exoskeleton is right there. Just cool little thing to point out that you could still see the remains of what it once was. It's also worth noting that Metroid Prime is not a biological creature. It is basically just a normal larval Metroid, but mutated by Phazon, which is why it's gigantic and horrifying and weirdly fleshy, and had an exoskeleton for no apparent reason. There he goes, there he goes. Switching to X-Ray because he tends to change that right away. There he is. Come on, just blast the crap out of him. Give me the missiles, even though they don't do anything in this fight. Oh crap, he's invisible. What did he change to? X-Ray? There he is. Okay. Yeah, you want to be careful, because the most damage gets dealt to you when you don't know where he is. Just try not to do what I just did there. Don't lose track of what beam cycle or what visor cycle he's on, and don't lose sight of him. As long as you don't let it out of your sights, he should be okay. He's almost dead, so one more hyper mode should do it. All I need to do is wait for you to make a little puddle. There you go! Thermal. Go away. Come on. We did it! Metroid Prime defeated. Crater collapse imminent. Evacuate immediately. And that's it. That's Metroid Prime. My fourth favorite game of all time, and one of my favorite, just easily my favorite first-person shooter, I guess, if you want to consider that. It's just my favorite Metroid game. It's one of my favorite games, period. And it's one that I'm really glad I got to bring to the channel. As I said in the beginning of the series, this is a Let's Play that I've planned pretty much since the channel's inception, and I've wanted to do it for a long time. However, the idea to go about it the way I did only really came up a couple of years ago. I was first introduced to the idea of speedrunning around the time of my Luigi's Mansion LP about 2 years ago. And I'm very glad that I experimented with that in that LP, because I feel like it opened the doors for a lot of more interesting things that I could do with my projects in the future. And as soon as I had that idea, Metroid Prime was the #1 game that came to mind, and I wanted to do it justice. The Metroid series is pretty famous at this point for just being a very big series for speedrunning, and Prime is no different. While the 2D games may be more popular, such as Fusion or Super or even Zero Mission, the Prime games don't get run as much, but there's still a lot of interesting tricks to them. That's something that I really wanted to show off in this Let's Play, and in my opinion, I think it worked out pretty well. I have no issue, no hesitation saying that I think this is my favorite project I've ever done on the channel so far. I'm really, really happy with how this came out. I had a lot of people helping me throughout the production of this. A lot of effort went into planning for it, and I feel like it shows. I think a lot of really interesting information got shown off in this project, and it's information that casual players just might not know about. And that was my goal in this series. I really wanted to introduce those of you who have played Metroid Prime to a whole new side of the game that you might not have even known existed. And I hope that, in at least some of you, I gave you the idea and the willingness to maybe try picking up the game for speedrunning yourself. It is worth noting that this is the trilogy version, and the trilogy version patched out a lot of glitches that make Metroid Prime speedrunning what it is. For that reason, the GameCube is the definitive version of the game if you're trying to do it for completion time. For casual playing, the trilogy is by far and away the best version of the game that we have ever seen. As of the time of recording this, it's only available on the Wii and the Wii U Virtual Console. It is possible that it might get ported to Switch. Here's hoping. But anyway, we got ourselves a little extra scene for 100% of the game. So let's see what that is. Mission final, percentage complete 100, and total time 7 hours and 12 minutes. Hyper mode difficulty active. So yeah, that's a thing. Hyper mode is basically veteran on steroids. It's insanely difficult, and I've been told also kind of frustrating. So yeah, it's up to you whether you want to try that. But anyway, as I said, we do have one more scene, but I do want to talk about a little bit more things before we go ahead and trigger that. I really want to emphasize the fact that a lot of people helped me out with this project. I really hope that I was able to introduce a side of a very popular game that casual players might not have known about. And in order to do that, I had to recruit the help of a lot of people, both for just information, general tips with the game, routing information, support, and whatever you can possibly think of, I had help with in this series with some way or another. So, there's a couple people in particular I'd like to thank. First of all, I'd like to thank Draconif for being the one who provided me with some of the clips that I showed you for tricks that I wasn't able to pull off myself in this LP. This includes things like getting Wave Sun, which is getting the artifact of Sun and Wave Beam at the same time while skipping the Sheegoth fight, and also the trick involving getting the artifact of, I think it was Life Giver, I don't know, one of the artifacts, the one in the Wave Buster room, where you just boost ball up the wall. He also gave that clip, so thanks to him. Additionally, I'd like to thank Mehrunes Phazon for general routing ideas and for the structure of this LP, just general ideas on how to go about mapping out the game. Now, a lot of that was me, but I would be lying if I said I came up with everything completely on my own, so I did want to name drop there. Now, as far as, like, the overall, like, very specific pickup routing, that was me. So, yeah, but I didn't do it all by myself, is my point. I'd also like to thank Metroid Recon for being an amazing resource for not just Prime, but the entire franchise as a whole. They have very detailed walkthroughs for every game in the series, and I do highly recommend that you check them out if you intend to 100% any of the games in the Metroid franchise. Additionally, I'd like to thank the Metroid Prime speedrunning server for being just a general very big help for the tricks that I showed off in this LP. They gave me pretty much all of the ideas that I had to show off in this series, including getting power bombs early, and pretty much everything that followed from there on after. So, special thanks to everybody in that server who contributed to making this series what it is. I would name specific names, but honestly, there's too many of them, and if I did, we'd be here forever. And I'd also like to thank my friend Adam, A2Z Gaming, who just gave me a lot of general support throughout this series. He also did a Let's Play of Metroid Prime, and I consulted him with quite a few ideas that I had to see if he thought it would be interesting for me to show on camera. And he gave me a lot of feedback in that regard, and for that, I'd like to thank him. And I also recommend that I highly recommend that you check out his channel. He's got a ton of really cool Let's Plays, and some of my favorite games of all time are ones that he's LP'd. So if you like my taste in games, you'll definitely appreciate Adam. Lastly, I would like to thank a Discord server dedicated to the Metroid franchise called Zebus, and I will include a link to both that and the Prime speedrunning server in the description below. Once again, it's just for general information, general support, and just a couple ideas here and there for me to show off in the series. So I'd like to thank the people in that server for helping me come up with some of the stuff for me to show off. Anyway, that's just about all I had to cover here, so for the final time, this has been the Play Commander. Thank you so much for watching my Let's Play of Metroid Prime. I hope you played along with this series, and if you didn't, maybe go ahead and try doing some of these tricks yourself. It might just change the way you play this game forever. I believe that's a sign that a sequel is imminent.